like there's a lot of stuff that was going on with me personally that I just was not happy with. And I feel like the conversation about that is not now. But I will say this. I have been experimenting with multiple genres of music over the course of the last few months, especially when I dropped It's Vacant. It definitely was a collective of different genres in general. Like I try to go about it from the whole boom bap meets New York drill type of vibe. Now, as of now, I've been getting comments that are saying that are putting me in the category of a drill rapper and stuff like that. Which again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being categorized as a certain genre of artist. You know what I'm saying? There's never really a bad thing. That's not really. I've never considered that an insult, to be more particular about it. And I feel like, in the grand scheme of things, that's not what I was shooting for. But I was like, I would say in the like right in the middle. You know what I mean? Like there's certainly levels to how much I was able to directly produce versus extensiveness. Like not even extensive. Like I would honestly say the two songs on the EP that have been the most popular thus far, and I'm saying this as of as of July of 2026. So we are a few months in now since the release of my, well, I won't say my debut project, but on Spotify, technically my debut project. I would honestly say a lot of people, they like what I did with Sierra when I did Goodbye. A lot of people really liked what I did with Heaven's Audio. They enjoyed Curse of the Greatest, which out of those three is the most popular of the project, to be completely honest. Which again, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting, Curse of the Greatest to be the biggest song on the project. I was wholeheartedly not like, I wasn't mentally available to see, like, over the course of like three or like 2-3 months after the project comes out, next thing I know, you got Spotify adding my songs to playlists with Bryson Tiller and all of that, which again, not expected. I was not expecting that. So it's clear that my music is making its roundabout, and like I said, I'm not trying to be Mr. 4 billion streams, 20,000 views on one song or anything like that. That's manifestation. Right now, I'm just trying to get everybody to listen. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the rich or the fame. It's about the notoriety. You know what I'm saying? I'm chasing the notoriety. I don't want to, say, oh, I'm really this guy. I'm really Kendrick level. I'm really Tupac era. You know what I'm saying? No, I genuinely, when I did record Curse of the Greatest, I had the mentality in mind of how can I manifest Big L in the most subtly passive way. Because don't get me wrong, I was relatively about 2 or 3 years old when Big L had died. I'm gonna be realistic here. So I never had a chance to go to a concert. Like a lot of people, I was not age available, to actually enjoy, Big L as an artist. But as I got older, when I was finally exposed to music, he was one of the many artists that my mother and my father allowed me to listen to. Not because, like, okay, my son is getting into, he's finding himself or whatever have you. Because, honestly, growing up in a musically inclined household, like, everybody in the household had their own genre. My mother liked rap music, some rap music, but my mother preferred the oldie but goodies. My grandfather, he preferred jazz, R&B, stuff like that. And my grandmother, she would rather listen to gospel, but at the same time, she would rather listen to like pop music, like Prince, Michael Jackson, the Isley Brothers, even New Edition to a certain extent. So me being, the black sheep out the bunch, like my mother, I remember seeing the, I remember seeing this actually. I was like 8 or 9 years old. I had just, for whatever reason, Big L's album Ebonics had just stuck out to me in Walmart one day, and I asked my mom. I was like, "Mom, can I get this? Can I get this CD?" At first, my mother wasn't with it because my mother lived in New York for a little while before I came into existence. My mother knew who Big L was. My mother heard about Big L. My mother had never been to a concert, but she had heard of him. You know what I'm saying? At first, she was like, no, because she was like, no, that's violent music. I don't need my son being exposed to violent music or whatever. So after a strictly a strategic, I'll say that, a strategic crash out, my mother finally cracked and got the album for me. And I remember going home and grabbing my CD player and just bumping that album for I don't even know how long. You know, I just it was a collective effort in the back of my mind. But when I look at it now, I see hopping on the remix is one thing, but at the same time dropping your own shit is always a good thing. Because when you see artists do freestyles and ciphers and stuff like that, that's just them giving you a taste of what they're capable of. Me, I decided to really just hop on an entire new beat in general. Like, I hopped on it. This was actually, believe it or not, trade secret. Band for band with this one. The beat for Curse of the Greatest was actually a Mac Miller beat that I actually had planned to drop but at the same time, I was like, you know what? No, I want to be selfish with this one. Like, I genuinely wanted to be selfish with that. And it's crazy when I say this, like when I say that the remnants of the idea was really out there, like really God had let me manifest that energy out there for so long. The same song that when I did Curse of the Greatest, right? And like I said, it was a Mac Miller beat at first that I transitioned it into a Big L tribute. The last album that Big L just dropped a few months back in 2025 happened to have a song with him and Mac Miller on it. When I say I was geeking, I was geeking. So it's like that threw me off for a good minute. But anyway, I'm rambling. So the album gonna come out in September. I want to say at least 10 to 12 tracks. It's gonna be a mixed bag of fruit, honestly. I'm in touch with Sierra again, obviously, because we made love on that song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Goodbye was that was a good one. That was probably one of my favorite songs to this day. So I tapped in with her. I said, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? I need some more vocals from you. I need this, I need this, I need this, and this, and this. Like, literally sending her like 5 different text messages with like 2 or 3 different songs that I had in mind. Like, she got to the point where she literally told me, she was like, stop texting me or I'm going to block you. That's how annoying I've gotten with her, because she knows that I'm excited about this. She knows that I'm trying to make this shit happen or whatever happens. So again, and since I'm doubling back on the idea of being a drill rapper, let me explain something to y'all. There's no such thing as a New York drill rapper. There's a New York drill artist. Just because I can rap on a New York drill song does not mean I'm a drill rapper. I don't gotta talk about putting the ops in the pack or doing none of that shit, because I can do that on my own. You know what I'm saying? I can talk my own shit. I don't need to speak on shit that's already niggas is already out here talking about. I don't need to really dive into that. Like, one thing, but and since I'm saying that, I want to actually be transparent when I say this. If I ever find myself in a position, excuse me, where I have to start dissing anybody, there will always be a validated reason not to, but there will also be a reason to do it, right? Now, and if I'm ever pushed to that point, and mind you, mentioning ops is one thing, and I don't need to talk about I don't need to talk about street ties. I don't need to talk about what I'm gonna do to you when I see you. I don't talk about that type of shit. I'm gonna tell you why I don't talk about that type of shit. Because from where I'm from, I know how to move. I know what to do. I know what not to do. And there's a lot of niggas out here that can speak on me directly and can say I'm not one of those niggas that go around doing whatever to anyone. So if there is literally a time where I start legitimately beefing with somebody, let me make myself clear. I am going to name drop that person completely. Full name, full first name. I'm not gonna call you by no alias. I'm not gonna call you, or I'm not gonna call you out by any means necessary. No, the only way that you're gonna make me diss you is if you say some wild shit out your mouth. And when I say I'm gonna air you the fuck out, I got bars for days. I got bars for days. I can do this shit all week. But anyway, like I said, album's coming out in September. 10 to 12 tracks. I hope y'all are ready, because it's gonna be fun. I promise it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be hit. Vacant World 3 on the way.